Okay, this is the first quarter market report for Northwest Michigan, and we were really surprised, particularly in March, at the activity that we saw. The number of sales were up, and this is new contracts written across really all price points, which was surprising, because we really thought that we had borrowed a little bit of business from the spring market because we had a milder winter compared to other years. But it looks like there may still be some pent-up demand and activity out there in the marketplace, which is good to see. Now, if you break it up by price range, it does tell a little bit different story. So the under $250,000 market is very strong, and inventories are declining there still, and activity is rising. Values actually haven't risen as much as we thought they would. We think that's really a matter of, one, the mix of business. There may be a few more lower-priced homes in that category selling in the first quarter than in prior quarters. So that the mix of business can affect that. And as far as sales activity, we expect it to be a little bit higher, but there just aren't enough listings for sale. So if you take some of the logs off the fire sort of goes out. So we think that there still is very strong demand under 250. Particularly, the demand is the strongest in the city of Traverse City itself. We've seen outside of probably the city of Ann Arbor, there probably isn't another market area quite as hot in Michigan than downtown Traverse City. So those values are approaching Birmingham and Ann Arbor price per square foot and rental rates. So that's been very strong. But even across all Northwest Michigan, we still see strong trends under 250. The 250 to $500,000 price ranges, the inventory is rising pretty steadily, but values are also rising as well, so sort of complementing each other. In the over $500,000 market, the high-end markets, inventories are rising quite a bit, and values are actually flat to even declining a little bit. We don't think that that's a bubble bursting as much as it is just good old supply and demand. And there actually are more homes being sold over $500,000 in Northwest Michigan than last year, but there are so many more listings coming on the market that it's settling things down and making values flatten out a little bit. One of the things that we looked at also for Michigan as a whole is how do we compare to the rest of the country, and CoreLogic did an analysis of their projections for the upcoming year. In Michigan in general, they showed a value increase of about 4%, which is in line with sort of the second highest tier of all the states and in line with the rest of the Midwest. I actually would expect us to outperform the rest of the Midwest because economically Michigan is outperforming the rest of the Midwest. And Chicago is doing well. So you have the two drivers, actually the three drivers of Northwest Michigan resort activity and second home activity, Grand Rapids, Detroit, and Chicago, and they're all doing well in terms of economic activity. So we think that should bode well going forward. The only challenge we have is a little bit of extra inventory at the upper end and in the middle upper end markets that we have to get through. But overall, markets are still good. Under 250, clearly a seller's market. 250 to 500, sellers to neutral, and over 500, probably neutral to maybe moving towards a buyer's market. But overall, still good news for the first quarter. Thanks.